So the previous video was super long, and you might be wondering why are we sweating over trying to create files, data, try to have metadata essentially, organize them by rows, separated by commas, and then all the rows are separated by line breaks, slash n. Well, you may wonder why do we want to do that? It just makes data loading so much easier in so many scenarios. And here we'll have one example. So let's go back to the very generous uh, New York Mets art data set because there are art in the public domain. So when I click into this, earlier we worked with a list of objects. Essentially, this endpoint gives us a list of objects that are in the public domain, and that's quite nice. And here we, once we get that list of objects, we can actually use a different API endpoint to get that object image. So let me remind you real quick what the data looks like. And we showed that it was actually kind of hard to work in memory, except using Python scripting. Opening it up using a file system that is not optimized for it was pretty hard. So just with a little bit of experience working with URLs, I now in APIs, I know that if I replace this object ID with the public object ID, I should be able to get some metadata. So let's 1989. And what's nice is I get a JSON object. It's actually just an object because it's not, again, it's not surrounded by quotes. I don't think it's a valid JSON, but I could be wrong. Sometimes the standard change. And what's nice is we have the image URL, which I will just have here. Okay, is public domain true? Okay, let me grab the image. It's a little oddly shaped, but okay. You know what? Okay. So imagine I can always script, right? We show you over and over again in the last few times that you can script each of these files, now open them programmatically one by one and obtain this field. So you don't have to copy and paste. But let's just say if I want to form if I want to just like form a list of URLs, and I'll show you where I'm trying to get at. Okay, and I'm gonna grab this URL too, and already sort of have a list of URL. It's short, but I put in the text txt file, and just reminder, we can write this programmatically.